Welcome to today's reading, where we are looking at how you impact and change your next or current partner's life. We're looking at how their life shifts in positive ways because of you. If you do end up enjoying this reading, I'll be doing another one soon, where we look at how your current or next partner changes your life. So keep your eye out for that one coming soon. Let's take a look at your 3 options today. I am using a different tarot deck for each group, but for your choices today, I will show you a crystal and an oracle card for each group. For group 1, we have this red jasper palm stone and this card that says Nourish the Shadow, and it has the number 33. For group 2, we have this pink aragonite heart and this card that says Focus on the Big Picture, and it has the number 19. For group 3, we have Smithsonite, and we have this card that says Unknown Gift, and it has the number 41. Okay, take all the time you need to choose, pause if you need to, and meet me in your reading when you're ready. Hi, group 1. You chose the red jasper palm stone and this oracle card. Welcome to your reading. We're doing a reading today on how you impact your future or current partner. We will start with a little bit about their energy before or when they meet you, and then we'll look at how they are with you, what about them changes because of you, what changes other people in their life notice, what heals, what they're most grateful for, and what you do that comforts or uplifts them. So I am going to pull these cards off camera today to make things easier for me, so we can get into your reading in just a second. Okay, group 1, let's get into it. So we're going to use this oracle card you chose in the beginning to talk about what might be going on with their energy or in their life before or when they meet you or met you. So we have this Nourish the Shadow card with the number 33. So certainly with shadow here, this person could be delving into shadow work. They could be working through some of the things that they've ignored about themselves over the years. Maybe this was incited because a relationship went bad or they noticed a cycle in their lives or something like this. And so they're looking at the things about themselves that they maybe don't like or other people haven't liked, finding out what's true about themselves and what's not, kind of delving into any ways that they may have lied to themselves, sort of doing that kind of stuff. They could be doing it on their own. They could be doing it in therapy or something like that. Additionally, they could be really working on re-nourishing themselves. So it does feel like it's possible that this person went through something either with relationships or health challenges. And so they may be on the up and up right before they meet you and kind of working on rebalancing, re-nourishing, and re-nurturing themselves. And they may have help with this. I mean, we have this kind of arm reaching in, offering water or something. But it seems like a lot of whatever they're doing is self-work or building themselves up. And while they may have help, a lot of this hinges on them. So yeah, they could be recovering from illness or an injury or a difficult relationship or a difficult period in life. This also could be a dark night of the soul situation where they're going through a bit of a spiritual awakening and they go through the deeper, darker, harder parts of it right before you meet them. Yeah, there certainly is a spiritual feeling for some people here. What with this maybe moon and these moons and the 3-3. So they could be working through spiritual stuff. So maybe they grew up with a religion and then they're beginning to question that, or they're questioning their beliefs about things like the afterlife or psychic abilities or things that before maybe their scientific mind said weren't true. So there could be some things happening where they're questioning their beliefs. They're diving more into the depths of their inner self. They are recovering from something. They're rebalancing and kind of like coming out of some type of fog and finding clarity. And so this can look a lot of different ways, but I will say I have a feeling of feeling kind of like depleted and exhausted and like malnourished, and kind of feeling like the wind has been taken out of their sails. So I think that they're on the up and up, but they're not fully recovered from whatever this is, or they're still kind of working through some things. When you come into one another's life, or if you already know this person, this is happening before you really like get together. But it does seem like whatever they're doing does give them a stronger feeling of groundedness and faith within themselves, and a deeper level of self-honesty, which of course, when you're honest with yourself, you're more likely to be honest with others too. But, along with this, they could also be doing inner child work or working through the shadows of their childhood or their past as well, in order to be a whole, more self-sufficient, giving person. So they're definitely improving themselves, but there is some darkness that they're having to sort of tread through in order to do this work. But overall, it's a good thing for them and for coming into a relationship. So let's look at, with this Emperor here and the Fool, how they are with you and because of you. So this is nice. I mean, whatever gender this person is, with you, there is a feeling of like being able to be decisive, make choices, be a leader in ways, move toward goals, take actions, that kind of thing. Like, we all have masculine and feminine, but you seem to bring out these qualities in this person because I think that you really help them feel more confident. And I think that your confidence in them enhances their own confidence in themselves and in their actions in the world. I think that you really build them up in some way, whether or not you're saying things to build them up. They just feel stronger and more capable with you and capable of moving forward in their life. And so I think that they make bigger strides in their life, whether that's in career or other areas, and that they feel more confident with their decisions, and they feel like they have energy behind them, moving them forward. And I'm not saying that they see you as behind them, but it's like putting the relationship with you puts energy behind them in a way. And they may be more willing to take calculated risks. They certainly seem to feel a lot more grounded and rooted and safe and stable and secure. Life seems brighter and happier with you in it. I wonder if this person is a little or a lot older than you. That may be the case. I think they're more able to let things go with you in their life. Like, I wonder if they had a habit of grasping. I don't know if that would be like on things that hurt them maybe. And so their emotional pain is something that they've held on to for a long time or something like that. And they're able to let that go more easily. But it feels like they're letting the past or other things be there without causing harm anymore. They're able to like move forward. Yeah, it seems like if there are things that they've wanted to accomplish in life or to do, or actions they've wanted to take, they feel a lot more capable of taking them. And I think that they have a certain kind of like strength in the relationship with you. They can be kind of like, they seem to be like a rock as well that you can lean on. I don't know if they've been able to do that for people in the past, but I think they feel more stable. They feel more secure, reliable, and dependable. And so they are that for you as well. I think they also feel more confident in the way that they look. And they may be more willing to take bolder risks when it comes to the things that they wear, the way that they decorate themselves, or even the things that they say. Somehow knowing you and having you in their life has made them feel more confident in their authenticity and uniqueness as well. So that's really nice. There's a lot of safety feelings that they have with you and because of you, and then they create a stable base as well. And it feels like they can stand on their own 2 feet in a way without wobbling. I don't know why that's what's coming through, but there's a lot more. There's a feeling of balance and stability. Yeah, and we have the number 4 with the Emperor, which is a number of stability and balance as well. And, the 33 here makes me think that as well. So it also feels like, with the Fool, it feels like fresh start energy. And so in a way with you, they really are new. They really are different than they have been with anyone in the past. And that it may be partly because of the work they've been doing on themselves, but also because of the way it feels with you, and it feels safe and fresh. So let's look at what about them changes because of the relationship with you. We have the 4 of Pentacles and we have the Death card. So, okay, well, here's something I was already talking about. They are able to let go, release, surrender, move on from things a lot more easily because of you. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because you're good at letting go or because they've hung on to things for so long. But knowing you allows them to free themselves. Like if there are emotional wounds or relational wounds, and like maybe they've always been with the same type of person who hurt them every single time in the past. And then you are just so different that they're able to release all that emotional baggage because it just feels so different with you. I wonder if they've rushed a lot in the past, like they've tried to rush the process, rush relationships moving forward, rush their life moving forward. And because of you and the relationship with you, they're able to slow down a lot more because it feels like there isn't really a hurry. It feels like they can slow down, that they can take their time, that it's not a huge deal if they move slowly. I talked about like their emotional baggage and holding on to emotional things, but it is very possible they're a bit of a hoarder. Like maybe they hold on to a lot of physical items. Maybe they have, newspapers from forever ago or magazines, or they collect containers, or I don't know what it is, but they may also have a bit of a problem holding on to physical things as well because they think they might need them one day, or they're being nostalgic about them, or whatever reason. Everybody has their own reason for doing things like that. And again, with the Death, they're able to release and let go and not hold on to so much. Like in some way, maybe it helped them feel safe, whether it's physical or emotional, whatever they were holding on to either felt like armor, felt like safety, or felt like something they needed. And the relationship with you allows them to sort of lighten up and let go. I feel tension being released from my body. It's like their shoulders drop. They realize they don't need everything that they were holding on to for so long, and that they are safe to have a lighter load and to move forward without hanging on to so much. And I also feel that their transparency and honesty increases with you as well. And it's not that they were necessarily dishonest in the past. They certainly might have been. Again, there was that feeling in the beginning that, maybe they were being dishonest with themselves. And so they're working through that. And so as they become more and more honest with themselves, they're more and more honest with others because they may not have even consciously realized some of their intentions in the past or why they made some of their choices. And I don't see this person as like ever being like a manipulative liar or anything like that. But like, how there's subconscious stuff sometimes running the show. That might have been happening with this person a bit. And so I think also part of what they're surrendering is their need to hold certain things in order to be safe as well, because they're realizing more clearly and more truthfully what's going on inside and how it affects the outside and how it affects other people. And so there's a transparency here where they really want to ensure that you trust them, you understand what their motivations are, that they're never hiding anything from you. And so that's a really nice quality too that you really enhance in them, because again, I think they're already doing some of that, but because you make them feel safe and feel like they don't need all the armor or the protection that they had before, it's a lot safer for them to relax and just be and trust that when they tell you the truth that they're not going to lose you or something like that. So let's look at what changes in them their friends or family or other people in their life may notice. So we have the High Priestess and the Five of Cups. Okay, well, again, I'm going to say that their friends and family notice that they're not as hung up on the past. So yes, could be romantic relationships or relationships they've had in adulthood, could be stuff that happened a long, long time ago in childhood, and that they've been very affected by things in the past. They have hung on to things in the past, whether they've meant to or not. And so I think the people in their life are really noticing that change as well, where they're able to be less attached to grief, to sadness, to trauma, and to the things that have really hurt them. They are less emotionally reactive. So I think, again, this feeling of safety with you enhances their sense of calm and their sense of stability and their ability to be more light and clear and just have sort of a lightness of being where they're not so heavy. So I think that people they've known for a long time have noticed and felt some of that heaviness, noticed how reactive they can be to certain things, noticed how certain things really bothered them. And that's starting to go by the wayside a bit. And it's not that they'll never have a reaction or they'll never have a trauma response if they've gone through trauma, but it's becoming less of a big deal. They're a lot more balanced in this relationship with you. They're a lot more, their masculine and feminine qualities are a lot more balanced. And we talked about their masculine qualities, but also their feminine qualities are present here as well. Their intuitive and psychic abilities as well. So they're more able to trust their gut and their intuition because, I want to point out, they've already been doing some of this, but it seems like partly because of the work they're doing is maybe why this relationship between the two of you opens up. But also the relationship with you just enhances what they're already doing and helps them move forward even more quickly with their own healing and with being a wonderful person and a wonderful partner. And I don't want you to think like, they're going through all this heavy work and then I have to help them. No, that's not how it's coming through. It's that just naturally, because of the way it is with you, it makes it so much easier for them to just continue along this path of being lighter and more clear and releasing and showing up as their very best self, because it feels to me like they are showing up really well here. And so people around them may also be noticing that they seem to be a lot more decisive. They are following their intuition, following their gut, following their impulses, and not being so weighed down by, it could be that one aspect of their trauma was that, as a child, they were always told that the things they wanted were wrong or stupid or something like that. So then they started to question what they wanted and questioned their internal self. And so then they lost that connection to their intuition over the years. And because they're connecting back with themselves, they're connecting back with their intuition and trusting it again. And so that's really apparent to the other people around them, whether they can point to it being their intuition or not. They may just think like, wow, you seem less reactive. You seem able to move toward the things you want. You seem more balanced. And it almost seems like they're just wiser. Like now they know things other people don't know. And it seems like people around them are like, wow, okay, you've just eclipsed me completely. Like I always gave you advice on your life and now you're giving me wonderful advice on mine. And part of that, I think, is because of how wise you are and how tapped into your intuition you may be and how balanced, you make this person feel. And again, it's not that you're responsible for them feeling this way, but that it's naturally a byproduct of being in relationship with you. And that it just feels very equal. So let's look at what heals or how they grow because of you. We have the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Okay, well, like I said, they may have some emotional stuff going on and emotional baggage. And so their emotional stuff continues to heal because of the love that you share between you, because of possibly how accepting you are of them, accepting of their emotions. I think that you definitely allow this person's feelings to be okay, to be present. You are curious about it. You may be very nurturing and very understanding. You have some of this Queen of Cups energy, I think, regardless of your gender. I think that either you are very, very tuned into your own emotional world and have a very healthy emotional world, or you just tend to be very nurturing and accepting of other people's stuff. But I also think because we have this Ace of Cups, that something else that heals is their relationship trauma. So other relationships they've had before you, this feels like a true fresh start. It feels like, oh, this is something different. This is something that makes me feel really safe, something that allows me to be myself. This person, allows me to express myself and that everything inside me is okay. I think their emotional maturity and their emotional intelligence continues to expand with you. It becomes really, really expansive. And so I think that they also become even more nurturing and accepting of other people's emotions. It's also possible, again, we could call back to their childhood and say that maybe they had an experience with a parent where they had to caretake that parent, where they had to caretake that person's emotions and they weren't allowed to have their own emotions, or they got in trouble for those emotions. There seems to be something related to this. And so there may have been some resentment there as well. And so another thing that's happening in this relationship with you is an opening back up to emotional safety and having other people's emotions also be okay and be safe and it not have to be so overwhelming and taking them completely over. It can be where both people have stuff going on inside and that's okay. They don't have to take responsibility for it or fix it, but they can also be really kind, really understanding, and really present. And I think there's a huge amount of gratitude for this. So speaking of gratitude, what are they most grateful for in this relationship with you? Or one of the things they're most grateful for. So we have the 10 of Wands and we have the Shaman, which is the Hierophant. So, okay, there's a couple things. Well, the 10 of Wands being the card of burdens, they may be very, very grateful for the fact that they're able to set down a lot of their burdens. Again, this kind of feels like the emotional weight they've been carrying around, but it also feels like they've been carrying it around in their body in the form of tense, contracted muscles or their nervous system being very reactive and things like that. Like it feels like for a long time, they had to carry a lot of things on their own without help and feeling like no one was there to help them. In this Hierophant card, normally there are other figures here and there aren't. So I think this person has felt very alone for a long time. So they're very, very grateful to not only not feel alone, but it's not that you're just another stand-in. You're not just another person that makes them feel a little less lonely. You are, your understanding of them, you help them feel like they can do things. They feel like a better person with you. They feel very loved by you. They love you very much. So I think that they're really, really grateful that you've brought not only true companionship in and true understanding and presence, but you've also helped loosen their burdens. And that is the emotional weight, but it's also the stuff that they've been carrying around in their body. And it can also be day-to-day kind of stuff where, this dog here maybe doesn't need to carry all these logs on his own anymore, or her own, or whatever. And so I think that you offer sort of a respite. It's like this dog sees, oh, there's a whole community here. I have help. I don't have to keep carrying this on my own. And so whatever they're carrying, whatever they've been carrying on their own, even just, running errands together or cooking dinner together, those kinds of things are something that this person is super grateful for, is not having to do even the little things alone anymore. It's like, it's so much more fun together. I think also with this Hierophant is that you help this person question, this card can be about tradition. So you can help them question things that they've just always believed were just fact and true. And since they're already doing some work around their beliefs and even possibly questioning old spiritual beliefs or a lack of spiritual beliefs or whatever, you seem to be a little more, I want to say, expanded in this way. Like you have more spiritual knowledge or connection, or this person really learns a lot from you about either the spiritual or things that they may have been closed to in the past. And this is something that's coming through as what they're grateful for. They really like learning these things. They like expanding and opening their mind and seeing different perspectives. And also this could be about, like, maybe they always saw things as needing to be very traditional, like traditional man and woman roles, for example, or traditional steps that need to be taken in a relationship. And you're a little bit more unconventional in that way. Or you're like, well, I don't want to get married, but I do want a long-term relationship or something like this. Like you're somehow helping them to see other viewpoints, and it may not be those things, but you're expanding their mind, and that's something they're also really happy about and really grateful for. So finally, let's look at what you do that comforts them or uplifts them or helps them to feel safe. Okay, well, we have the 9 of Wands and we have the 9 of Swords. So, again, kind of these, I think this person has been very wounded in some ways, and this has made them feel either quite anxious, quite depressed. I was picking up on a little bit of possible depression and anxiety in this first card as well. So, they could have been dealing with some of that. Some feelings of like hypervigilance and needing to protect themselves and being the only one who can keep themselves safe, and that they're never truly safe. So they need to always like keep their eye on the exit door, they're always wearing armor, that kind of thing. So you really help them to break that down. And again, it's not coming through as like you're having to do a concerted effort to help them. It really does feel like it all just happens naturally, because naturally who you are, naturally how you are with people, and you come through as very trustworthy, kind, compassionate, loving, especially with this person, that you're very present with them. And again, you are not now having to caretake them. It's that it seems to go both ways, like this care and this love and this protection of each other. But just again, it's because you are who you are, and it's because of your openness and your point of view and your kindness and these things. And this helps this person loosen up their armor and start taking it off. And they allow themselves to become more seen, more vulnerable, more transparent, and that they realize they don't have to be scared anymore. They don't have to be scared of this storm. So I wonder if they had a parent or someone in childhood that was very emotionally chaotic or stormy, or their relationships have reflected that. But you're like a sunny, pretty, happy sky. You're this nice, open, it's like everything is seen. You don't like spill every one of your secrets right off the bat. You may have like things you keep in to protect yourself too, but like you are open, you are yourself, you are authentic. And I think that this really makes this person feel safe doing the same, and that they start to understand and realize as time goes by that they're in good hands and that you're not going to intentionally hurt them. Or if you do hurt them, it's going to be very small and very much unintentional. I think they've felt in the past like they really had nowhere to turn, like nowhere was truly safe. And some of this may have been subconscious, but it's like sometimes they made choices they're not happy about because it seemed like the best choice in the moment. And maybe it was. But the thing is, because they're doing work on themselves and stuff like that, they are more and more capable of seeing other options, other choices that are actually healthy. And you're one of those. You are a healthy, happy choice that I think they will want to stick with forever because it's so different from what they have dealt with and from what they've known, at least in close relationship. And instead of guarding themselves so protectively, they can turn some of that energy into being present, enjoying the present moment, enjoying a relationship with you, being protective of you. And so I think that you really, really do. Your energy comforts them and also makes them feel safe. And because of the ability to feel more safe, it also uplifts them. It also makes them feel more happy, more joyful, more kid-like. And overall, the way that you impact this person is that you accept them as they are. You give them so much love and care, and they really have so much love and care to give back. They just haven't really had the opportunity yet. And so it almost makes me want to cry because you are giving this person such a huge gift by just being who you are. And it seems again, like they're doing some of that work on themselves to open themselves up to something this beautiful. Because I think in the past, if you met 5 years before, this would be a different person and they probably wouldn't even see what's right in front of their face. And then now they're going to be so incredibly grateful because it's like, oh my God, I thought maybe this existed, but I'd never experienced it. So I thought maybe it didn't exist for me. So this is really cool. And I think that's all I've got for you today, Group 1. If you enjoyed this reading, let me know by liking the video. Leave a comment if you're up for it. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe, but I'll see you again soon, okay? Bye. Hi, Group 2. You chose the pink aragonite heart and this oracle card. Welcome to your reading. We're doing a reading today on how you impact your future or current partner. We'll start with a little bit about their energy before or when they meet you, and then we'll look at how they are with you, what about them changes, what changes other people in their life notice, what heals, what they're most grateful for, and what you do that comforts or uplifts them. I'm pulling these cards off camera today to make things easier for me, so we can get into your reading in just a second. Okay, Group 2. So we're going to start with the oracle card you chose in the beginning. And this is how we're going to look at their energy or what they're doing, right before they meet you or when they meet you. So we have, again, this focus on the big picture card. We have this hawk here. We have a little bee with a crown, a lighthouse, this eye, and the number 19. So there's a lot of possibility here. This is going to be so specific, but I have to say it. This person may be doing something with a movie or like they work in film, whether that's in somewhere big like Hollywood, or if it's smaller scale, or if they film documentaries, or if they do like producing or directing or acting or something related to this kind of performance or art. That won't be for everyone. There are some feelings of cycles with these arches here and around this lighthouse as well. And with the 1 and the 9, it's making me think beginnings and endings. So this person could be going kind of through big changes, like they're in a new season of their life, a new cycle in their life. They may have left a job and just started a new one. Endings and beginnings could really be happening for this person. They could be reaching a milestone birthday, like they're 30 or 40 or 50 or something like that. But they could be getting there like The word that's coming to mind is comeuppance, which I feel like is usually a bad thing, but it seems like a good thing. Like it's like they're coming up. They're coming up finally. They're finally getting a goal. They're finally getting started or getting moved on something big. It seems like there's something really big happening in their life, and that yeah, this person really could be in the public eye in some way. Even if it's not on a huge scale, they could be finally starting something very public or putting their work out there in some way, whatever their work is. They may be feeling very confident at this time. Yeah, and it seems like they feel really comfortable in their own skin. So maybe that's a new thing. But it does feel like things are panning out for them. It's like what they've been waiting for or working for a long time is finally coming true, finally coming to fruition. They're finally being seen and appreciated for something that they're doing. This might be how you meet, is that because of whatever they're doing to be more public or more visible is how you even spot them. But also, you know, it's possible that in the past they always kind of focused on the details and they did a lot of work in the background on the details, and finally it's like it's all coming together and they're seeing like the entire tapestry now. They're seeing it all come together. So maybe they've worked on something for a long time, or they always were so focused on minute details that finally they're able to stand back and see how far they've really come, something like that. But yeah, it also could be that they're really manifesting things now. Like they may have felt like a victim to their reality in the past, and now they're actually like, I have more control than I thought I did, or I'm going to at least take action and see what I can do. They're really moving forward, and a lot of it seems to be because of the work they're doing, but I think that they're being rewarded for it as well. And so I think if there has been doubt in their abilities in the past, anxiety in the past, they are moving through that and moving into something much bigger, and they're releasing their fears about being seen, about being approved of, about whether or not they're good enough and things like that. Yeah, I think they're really believing in themselves, and it's very positive. So let's look at how they are with you and because of you. We have the 10 of Pentacles and we have the 8 of Swords. Okay, let's take a look. So cute. It feels like they are really a lot happier in life because of you and with you. They're very, I think, joyful, very celebratory. They might really like to enjoy good meals together, or they do cute things whenever something good happens for you. Like if you get a promotion or something you wanted happens, they'll bring you a treat or take you out to eat, or just really tell you how amazing you are. And of course you could do it. They're very enthusiastic, and I think that, you know, with the 8 of Swords, often this can be feeling very trapped, but this cat here is not trapped at all. First of all, there's a big opening to leave. The cat seems to want to be there, happily sleeping atop all these beautiful flowers. This is a really nice and sweet 8 of Swords. And so I think that possibly in relationships in the past, they felt very boxed in, very trapped, very unable to fully be themselves, or they felt like, oh, this isn't what I want. And they felt like they had to keep showing up, had to keep putting in commitment, even though they were realizing it didn't feel that great. But with you, it's like, oh, I could be here all day. Like I'll commit in a second and for the rest of my life. It's very committed energy. And with the Pentacles, we see that as well. It's very much seeing you as family, treating you as such, and not that like it's not going to be romantic, but that basically that they're in it for the long haul. They're in it for life. They are committed to this. And they're also, I think that they're also very proud of you. Like they're very proud to be with you, which is coming through very cute. So I think that they are prone to showing you off. They want you to meet whoever is in their life, whether that's family, friends, whoever they respect, admire, and also love, even the people that are in their lives that maybe they don't feel that way about. They want those people to meet you, to know you, and to see how special and wonderful and amazing you are. They definitely see you as long-term, as very, very worthy of anything and everything that you want. They see you as very attractive, beautiful, handsome, whatever it is. yeah, they can like, we have this cart here with the Eight of Swords too, and these wheels, but it's like it's stopped and it's like it's time to rest now. It's like, and we have that energy here as well. It's like instead of rushing forward, instead of moving forward, instead of trying another relationship and like it not being good enough, it's like, well, I could rest here forever. Like, go ahead and like drop these stakes because we don't need to keep rolling. I'm good here. And so I think that maybe in the past they have had an energy that comes across as a little bit like instability or flightiness, or it felt like they never really settled down with anyone before. It was like shorter lasting relationships or something like that. And so with you, that is very different. And I think that they are very, very happy with you. And not only like that they are happy that they're with you, but they are happy as a person around you. So I like it. I like it a lot. Let's look at what about them changes because of this relationship with you. We have the Star and we have Strength. So we have major arcana here. So big changes happen within them. But it's interesting because it does feel connected to this original card. And so, the Star can talk again about fame, being in the public eye, having more people see what you're up to. It can talk about celebrity, but it can also talk about wishes and hopes coming true and healing. And usually in the Star, we see one figure. We have two figures here. And so it feels that you are either very connected to their career or their dreams, like you are doing things together. Maybe you're in the same field of work, or you both have a dream that can be blended and you can move toward it together. Somehow you're accomplishing something huge together and you help this person have the strength and the fortitude and the feeling that they can do it and they can push through and they can grow something and make something happen. You really lift them up and you help them to feel like they have a higher perspective. It's so interesting because in the first group, this was sort of similar too. This original energy kept showing up all throughout the cards. Same here. This is like, it's like they're already doing this before or when they meet you, and then you enhance it and help them with it. And it's like maybe you're also going through something very similar. And it's like maybe you are going through very parallel situations and you come together and it just boom, expands and explodes in a good way. So they do seem to be more confident. They believe in themselves more. They feel a strong sense of partnership with you, but also like they feel like you have each other's backs. And so they're able to accomplish a lot more than they did before. So even though this is coming through as big changes and we're looking at what about them changes, it seems like it's their belief in themselves. It's their joy of moving forward because it feels more fun now, I think, because I think that as they've tried to make progress toward their goals or whatever it is, it has felt sometimes like they've had to like do detail. And it's been a long road and it's been these cycles of them only slightly making progress. And then suddenly, boom, you're here and like the progress explodes and so much more happens and so much more grows and becomes brilliant. It's like we see all these plants here in Strength and it's like they have nurtured seeds and maybe these seeds grew little leaves. And then once you're here, suddenly you've got these giant plants and you've got a whole bunch of them and they're varied and like everything feels really big. And the Star in this is giant. And then it's surrounded by a bunch of other stars. So it feels like dreams are coming true, wishes are coming true, big things are happening. And in the past, this person maybe made much slower progress. And then suddenly with you, you're both just accomplishing a lot together. It also can be about your relationship and how it just feels bigger, bolder, brighter, more incredible than any past relationship that this person has. And so I don't think that they necessarily change on a fundamental level. Like their personality doesn't change. They might be a lot more happy and jovial and laughy. it's like more gets accomplished, more is exciting, more feels fun, and that they feel stronger and more capable inside. And maybe you help them with their beliefs about what they can accomplish. And I think they do the same for you. So let's look at the Ace of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles for what changes their friends and family or their other loved ones notice in them. So yeah, I mean, they see this person moving more quickly toward goals, being more motivated, making stronger, bigger choices, and experiencing a greater level of abundance. And I do think, especially if this is related to career, you're both going to be having increased abundance, increased prosperity, more money, basically, nicer material surroundings, like a nicer, bigger, newer home, or a home in a nicer area, or more luxury decor and furniture and things like that. It seems like, yeah, you're both on the up and up. And I don't know if one of you is ahead of the other when you meet, but you are going down this path together. So again, I don't know if you're working on projects together, career things together, if you do the same thing and so you're doing a joint project, but or if you're just really encouraging one another in your own dreams or something like this. But their friends and family really notice how happy they are. And yeah, and in this Ace of Pentacles too, I noticed this arch in the background, and it's kind of reminding me of like the Four of Wands a little bit, and like marriage and commitment and stuff like that. And it does feel, again, like this might be the first time they really feel committed to somebody. Like they really see a future. They really see either marriage or long-term commitment, and that it won't lose steam. It won't lose its excitement. I think maybe their friends and family have thought like, oh, like they're never going to find anyone they like enough. Like, you're too picky. Like, you just need to settle down, like blah, 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 blah. And then you come into the picture and this person is like, oh yeah, okay, I found exactly what I was looking for, and I will be reliable and committed and all these things. And their friends and family are like, oh, whoa, we thought you were the problem, but actually you just hadn't met the right person yet. It's something like that. And I think that, yeah, I think this person is like having a bit of a glow up with their physical appearances too. I mean, you might both, but I think that you also maybe influence this person to look better. So whether or not you have like a really good sense of style and you make suggestions, or you help them pick things out or something, or if they just really want to impress you because they're finally really, really into someone, and so they up their game with their appearance. But friends and family are certainly taking notice of how good they look. And I think they're getting a lot of compliments about that as well. And I think their happiness and their joy is really increasing by being with you, and that they seem to also be more appreciative of the present moment, where I think maybe in the past they were like so focused on what they were doing that they were maybe having anxiety, or they were constantly frustrated or kind of neurotic about things, or like overly controlling or something. But with you, they seem a lot more fun and easygoing. They laugh more easily. And I think that they really do see the big picture a lot more easily. And so this is a big change when it comes to the other people in their life, because they're used to this person being like maybe kind of neurotic or overly focused on things that don't seem to matter. And now they're just kind of like go with the flow, laughing at people's jokes. Like they're more fun. So that's cool. So let's look at what heals, or how do they grow because of you? And we have this Four of Cups and we have this Eight of Wands. So yes. Well, okay. With one thing with the Eight of Wands, it can often be about communication. And so I think that this person may have felt either stunted in communication, or like they didn't know how to articulate themselves in the past, or they struggled with that, or like they weren't very expressive verbally or vocally, or like people made fun of them for the things that they said or something like that. So something that is healing is their communicate. Maybe they were really also self-conscious about their voice or their cadence or something like that. And so I think that you make them feel very able to speak their mind and speak their truth and speak things without feeling self-conscious or like they're going to be disapproved of. But also with both of these cards, I kind of feel like maybe they've gotten made fun of for some of the things that they've said, the way that they've phrased things, like the way that they use language, or the things that they want to talk about. Like maybe they have really kind of like funny or weird thoughts. And when they've brought those up to people, they either got laughed at, or they were like, what are you, drunk? Or that's so stupid. Why are you even thinking about that? And so that could be the case where you like play along, or you're like, oh my gosh, what an interesting thought. Like you answer their weird questions, or if they've been made fun of for their voice or the way that they speak, you either really, really love it, or you don't have any kind of problem with it. It just seems like very fine and normal. And so it feels like they can kind of come out of their shell and stop hiding all that makes them so wonderful, because it's like we have this chest here in the Four of Cups where it feels like they've buried all of these things, but it's all like beautiful, wonderful, vibrant treasure, and other people didn't see it for what it is. And so I think something that really heals with this person is how they are able to let themselves back out, and you really make them feel safe expressing themselves in whatever way that is. And so they also grow in this way because it enhances their self-confidence, their belief in themselves. It reduces self-doubt. It reduces self-consciousness and feeling insecure because of what other people have said to them or how they reacted. And so then they're able to move more quickly again toward all these wonderful things because they feel very approved of, very loved, very accepted, and very safe. And it feels like you're this little starfish offering this like sweet cup, and you're like, here's some love. I don't know why no one was giving it to you before. And so then they don't need to feel like they need to hide themselves, and they can move forward very authentically, very genuinely and openly. And this is a huge, huge gift that you are giving to this person. So I just want you to know it's making a major impact. So let's look over here to what this person is grateful for in this relationship and grateful for with you. We have the Hermit, we have the 10 of Cups. So again, lots and lots of happiness, okay? They're very, very grateful for the big amounts of joy that you bring to their life. I do think you probably laugh together a lot. You probably joke around a lot, or you both have a really similar sense of humor, and that you crack each other up. I think that, and you know, if you're creative types, because it does seem like it's possible that you're both creative. I don't know, but you could be musical, or whatever you both do that's creative is just really a joy to do together. But this person is really grateful for the joy that you bring to their life, whether you are just a joyful person and it rubs off on them, or just because they're so delighted to finally have met someone like you and to be in relationship with someone so wonderful who they've never met anyone like you before. It just enhances and brings them so much joy and happiness. I feel happiness throughout these cards. Yeah, and I'm hearing something about leaping into the unknown. Like they're no longer afraid to move into the unknown because you have one another's backs, because it feels safer to do it with you. And it's like, it reminds me of being in like, I don't know, high school, and you have to do like a speech in front of the class. And, you know, if you have to do it alone and you're an introvert or you're afraid of public speaking, you're so terrified. But if you have a buddy to do it with, it's suddenly becomes that much easier. And so it kind of feels like that with them is that there may have been things they've been scared to do in the past because it could go so wrong. But once they've got you in their corner and you maybe working on the same thing and encouraging them and saying, yeah, we can do this, suddenly it feels a lot safer, and it feels safer to do it with you. Whether or not something goes wrong, it's like, we can do this and we're going to be okay. And the 10 of Cups is so emotionally fulfilling. And so they're really, really grateful for the fulfillment and satisfaction that you bring into their experience, and the way that it feels like, in some way they always were alone, and now they have all of this that comes with you, all of this abundance. So, it can also be that you have wonderful people in your life that also love this person and they feel richer in relationship, or just because you are so wonderful and so fun and you have like the same goals or something like that, that makes them feel less alone. But they feel like their life is abundant and abundantly better because of you. And yeah, it's sunshine and rainbows, literally. So it's like it brings full color back into their life again and makes them feel like everything's more vivid, more vibrant, more bright, and more wonderful. And again, it makes me think in this Hermit card that it's like a wish come true. We have this little star as the light, and the star can be about a wish come true and things coming to fruition and being fulfilled. And so they're very, very grateful that they held out, that they waited, it was worth the wait, and that now you can travel together, through life, and travel the world together maybe too. And I think you soften this person up a bit, or this relationship with you does, because, being truly in love maybe for the first time makes them feel a lot more kind of loose and soft and sweet and romantic. And so they may also be grateful for you for bringing this side of them out. And also that even though you may, do life together or do a lot of things together, this person still feels like them as themselves is respected, Maybe or maybe not, you both need alone time or your own autonomy or whatever. But it feels more like it's that this person feels very respected as who they are, and that they can stand as their unique and incredible self without judgment. And that you seem to see depths into them that other people haven't, or they haven't been able to let those things come to the surface. So their insights, their interesting or weird thoughts, their little jokes, the things that they've kind of kept to themselves can finally be revealed and loved. And like, it seems like, you play along with them. And that is something they are eternally grateful for. Finally, let's look at what you do that comforts or uplifts this person or helps them feel safe. So we have the Magician, we have the Sun. Okay. Well, we end on the happiest, quote unquote, the happiest card in the deck. Sunshine, rainbows, flowers, butterflies, You really do uplift them. You really, really bring a lot of joy into this person's heart, into their conscious experience. And it's like they see you as a ray of sunshine, and they become more of a ray of sunshine because of you. And you may not know that this is not how they always were, because you draw it out of them and they reflect it back to you. And so other people around them be like, wow, okay, you were never this joyous in the past, but this is all you know. You know this person as joyous because this is your relationship and what you bring out in them. And it may also make you a lot happier too. But your joy, your optimism, your belief in them, your enthusiasm, your cuteness, all of it uplifts them and brings them up and makes them feel very comforted. Yeah, it feels like you really, really lighten them up quite a bit. And it's like this Magician makes me think that like you take really good care of them, and that they would do the same for you. But like, this is something that really comforts them, is like, the Magician has all these different tools. It feels like you have anything to save the day. Like if they're having a bad day, you can make them laugh, or you encourage them to cry, or you give them a good hug, or you take them out for a good meal, whatever it is. Like you've got all the tools in your tool chest to help them. And it feels like you always know exactly what to do. And again, this is another enhancement of their joy, because they feel so seen, so loved, so taken care of and protected. And it feels like everything about their emotional world, we see all this water flowing. is okay. And that if they are having a bad day, that's okay. And it can also turn into a good day. It doesn't have to be a bad day, and it doesn't have to ruin your mood or anyone else's mood. And that I think that they see you as someone who really uplifts the people around you, not just them. And that also gives them joy. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you just always know what to do. And whether that comes naturally to you or not, it feels like they're always in good hands. You're the first person that they're always going to call, always going to go to, and always want to be around them when they're dealing with anything. You know, if they're sad, if they're angry, if they had a bad day, but also if they had a good day, if something went amazing, if they're in a happy mood, you're always, always, always the first person on their mind, the first person they reach out to, and the first person they want to see and share things with. And it probably goes both ways, but they see you as very independent, very creative, very intelligent and beautiful, and very vibrant. And like you have a playfulness or a youthfulness to you, no matter what age you are or no matter how old you get. And that everything about you makes them feel healthier and more vibrant. And it's really nice. So I think that's all I have for you today, group 2. If you enjoyed this reading, let me know, like the video, or leave a comment if you feel up to it. If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe, okay? I'll see you again soon. Bye. Hi, group 3. You chose the Smithsonite. It's always kind of hard to say. And this oracle card, welcome to your reading. We're doing a reading today on how you impact your next or current partner. We'll start with a little bit about their energy before or when they meet you or met you. And then we'll look at how they are with you, what about them changes because of you, what changes the other people in their life notice, what heals for them, what they're grateful for, and what you do that comforts or uplifts them. I'm pulling the cards off camera today to make things easier for me, so we can get into your reading in just a moment. Okay, group 3. So it seems like a second later, but as soon as I went to pull your cards, I got so tired that I went to sleep for the night. So it is the next day. I have pulled your cards, and let's get into your reading. I do want to start with this person's energy or kind of what they're going through before or when they meet you. So we're going to look to your oracle card that you chose for that information. So we have this card that says unknown gift. It has the number 41 on it. And it's giving me a little bit of group 2 vibes. So if this reading doesn't ultimately match or you want to try another, you might also try group 2. So this person could be discovering something quite big about themselves around the time that you meet or that you met. So yes, it could be singing. It could be a talent like this. Like they could discover that they're much better at something than other people are, but it's more likely something a little bit unusual because, if it was singing, they will have always known they were good at singing. But it makes me think about how, some people have they get like a brain injury and then sometimes they suddenly have like a talent they never had before. Like suddenly they're incredible at art and they were never artistic before or something like this. Or like they, those people who, again, like have like a brain injury and then they just have a different accent when they come back and they always speak now like they had an American accent before and now they have a British accent or something like that. So something could have happened to this person that was like, not great, but something great came out of it. And so it doesn't have to be that very specific example, but that somehow they've uncovered something incredible about themselves or interesting, or they're finally being noticed for something that is special about them because we have all these stars as well. So it feels like a little bit like the star card and feeling like they're being seen and celebrated for something amazing, and that maybe this person is performing. Like maybe they've always wanted to be an actor or even do like, what's it called? Like when you, I don't know, like comedy. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but they may be even just putting themselves out there in that way. Like they may not be on like a Broadway play, but they could be doing local theater or something. It doesn't have to be this. I'm trying to think of other examples, but because this card looks so like play and music kind of themed, it's giving me those examples. But I think that this person is finally putting themselves out there in some way. This could be how you meet this person, but they seem to be releasing fear around maybe something they've always wanted to do, or they're discovering new things about themselves. And I know this is kind of weird and specific, but that's what we have here in this card. I also think that it's very possible that, I'm looking at these cards to see if it's reflected anywhere, but yeah. Okay. So because we have this rainbow here and this like, joy with singing this rainbow, and then I see this rainbow sweater over here, it is possible that if you are someone who is queer or gay, this person could be finally open about the fact that they are. So that could be confirmation for some of you as well. And that might be nice for you, knowing that this person isn't going to try to hide anything with your relationship. Obviously, that's not going to be for everybody. But yeah, they also seem to be having a new confidence in themselves. And because we have the number 41 and it reduces in numerology to a 5, this is a big change. So around this time that you come together with this person, they are going through some kind of big positive change. And I'm sure that this would be something that they would be talking about. So it would be very clear that this is not how they have always been. So let's get into how this person is with you and because of you. And we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice. And we start with 2 major arcana. So now I want to see how many major arcana we have. And then we have the Magician, the High Priestess, the Fool, and the Temperance. So we have a lot of major arcana in this group. And I didn't count them in the last groups, but it seems that you are going to have a pretty big impact on this person. And in these readings, we're really talking about them and the changes they go through because of this relationship with you. So it honestly ends up being more about them, but it's the effect that you've had on them. So again, how are they with you and because of you? Okay, well, there's a strong sense with Wheel of Fortune and Justice of balance, equality, reciprocity. So this person will give as much as they take. They may give more than they take. And when it comes to give and take, they're not taking from you, but they will receive. So they're open to receiving and they're open to giving, and they're very much wanting an equal relationship and equal partnership where you're both seen and heard, you're both getting your needs met, you're both having fun, and that no one feels like they're doing the bulk of the work in the relationship. I don't know if they have been in relationships prior that did feel like they were non-reciprocal. So this is really, really important to them. But they ensure that things feel pretty equal. It is possible they have a Libra in their chart because that often comes through with this balance and reciprocity and with justice. And with this wheel, yeah, it just feels like, okay, well, you're sitting on this part of the wheel. Let me balance it out by sitting on this part. Let's make sure that the wheel never topples over. Let's make sure our relationship is always sort of balanced and turning forward in a positive and steady way. Because you also provide this feeling of balance for them, I think it also really allows them to follow big dreams. That could be associated with this first card here, but also the Wheel of Fortune can talk about fate, and it can talk about the seasons of your life and the things that you go through. And so I think that this person also feels like they have your support in following the things that are important to them, in continuing to move forward. I think that they feel possibly like people in the past stalled them and stalled their progress and didn't believe in them and told them their ideas were stupid or things that they couldn't follow through on. And so it feels like finally they're able to move forward. And so because of you, they have a stronger belief in themselves. They feel more balanced and supported and secure. We see a lot of truth in the Justice card. This is the card of truth. And so it's also about honesty and transparency. And so in relationship with you as well, they are very honest with you. They're honest with you about what they think about things, what they believe, what they want, what they need. And also, they're not hiding things. So this is someone who's going to be very upfront. It's like they could hide behind this wheel, but they're not. They're making sure that you can always see where they are. You always know where they are. You always know where they stand on everything. And whether or not you disagree, they will ensure that they're still speaking their truth, because it's very important that you know where they stand and they know where you stand. So this is something that's really important to them. I think maybe it's always been important to them, but this is something that you'll see in your relationship is a lot of honesty and knowing where they stand. So what about this person changes because of this relationship with you? We have the Magician. We have the Eight of Swords. I wonder, I'm just starting to feel like this is going to have so many themes from both of the last two groups. And I always hope, it's like, I do 3 groups. I want 3 very distinct groups. And then I swear almost every time there are things that show up in all of them. But what I want to say is, you may watch group 1 or group 2 if you were also drawn to one or both of those, because there may be messages for you there. But so we have this Magician and this Eight of Swords for what about this person changes because of this relationship with you. And so a big thing here is that they may have felt stuck in life for a long time. They may have felt stuck in other relationships. If the thing I said about them being not straight was something that makes sense to you, again, it could be that they were in straight relationships because it felt like what they were supposed to do, and then they finally feel free with you. Again, that's going to be more specific. So for the rest of you, it could feel like in past relationships they couldn't fully be themselves. They weren't fully accepted for who they were, and so it felt like they had to fit into a certain kind of paradigm or role, and it felt very stifling for them. But even if, they never had relationships before, or their relationships were fine, something about being with you helps them feel a lot more free, a lot more capable, again, capable of moving toward their dreams or toward the things that they want in life, capable of calling in the things they want, manifesting the things they want, and also being the individual that they are. It seems like you're very accepting of them, of how they want to express themselves, of the thoughts that they have, of the ways that they want to decorate your home if you have a home together. It can be anything, but you're very accepting of who they really are and what they really want. And so this is incredibly freeing for this person. And it's a very huge difference from how it's been in the past. And so you probably didn't know them in the past. It seems like around when you meet is this changing time, and you help them to change as well. But other people may, and we're going to look at what their friends and family think, but other people may really notice how much looser they are, in the sense that they're not as bound up. They may have talked a lot about feeling stuck in life, stuck in relationships, stuck in ways they didn't want to be, or it's just maybe they didn't talk about that, but it just becomes a lot more obvious that they're confident in themselves and confident in who they are, and that they're no longer scared to express themselves. They also maybe didn't feel very safe or secure or stable prior to this relationship with you. They had to do certain things to sort of fit in and feel safe in that way. But something about knowing you just makes them feel more like everything's going to be okay, just in every aspect of life. It's very comforting for them. And they may have also been quite an overthinker, an overanalyzer, and this becomes a lot more balanced with you. They may still go into overthinking and go into overanalyzing, but because they're possibly verbalizing this with you and you're kind of helping calm them down, that helps. But they may naturally just stop overthinking as much because just being around your energy helps them feel a lot more balanced or helps them to put things in perspective. So let's look at what changes their friends and family notice in them. And we have the High Priestess and the Two of Swords. And, we got the High Priestess in this position in one of the last groups. I can't remember which one, which is really interesting that it's showing up again here. Like I said, there seems to be stuff coming up here that was in the last groups. I'm not sure why. So their friends and family may notice, we talked about them being more balanced. They may notice more balance in them. There's a lot of intuition in these cards, especially the High Priestess, but also the Two of Swords. So but this person is able to be more intuitively led. I don't know if this is because of this original card or because of you, but something around the time that you get together in your relationship, this person is following their dreams, following their gut. They seem to know things. They seem more in tune with their gut. They may also be more spiritually in tune and spiritually led. They may suddenly be starting to see signs and synchronicities in things where they were kind of closed off to that stuff before. So their friends and family may like or not like this, but they're noticing it. They're noticing that your person is, like, oh my God, I found 5 feathers today. That must mean something. And that maybe never would have happened before. Or certainly they start, they're like, I've been seeing 888 everywhere. And it's like, this is a new thing. But I think also with the overanalyzing that we saw, that this person may have asked every single person for their opinion before they did anything in the past. It was like, okay, should I do this or should I do this? Or should I do neither of those? Like, can you help me decide, like, what are the pros and cons? And they would end up more confused because they'd ask too many people and everyone has a different opinion of what you should do. And so that may have been happening, but their energy seems a lot more calmed down when it comes to the anxiety or the overthinking, and they're more able to tune within. And I think that you encourage them to look at how they really feel about something and tune into their gut, their intuition, instead of telling them what to do, or you remind them that they always have the answer within something like this. And so their friends and family really notice the difference. They don't seem as insecure. They're not asking as many people's opinions. They just do things. And they're like, okay, I'm doing this now. And their friends and family are like, oh, okay. They may also notice a change in their appearance. And I do feel like this person could be expressing themselves differently in their appearance. It may be more loud and more bold, or it could be more polished. I don't know, but it could be that they kind of always dressed a certain way or had a certain hairstyle or whatever because it's what they felt they had to do, or most of the people they knew approved of it or something. But again, it seems like they're expressing themselves in a different way. And this is also being enhanced because of the relationship with you, and that's obviously something people notice because it's how they look and how they appear and how they show up. Yeah, they seem to have a stronger sense of when their body is telling them yes or no. And so they have a stronger belief in themselves and that they always know the answer to things. And it's moving them in really positive directions and more abundant directions, and possibly forward in career. And this is also something their friends and family are noticing. So let's look at what heals because of you, because of this relationship, or how this person grows. And we have the Fool and we have the Four of Wands. So they may be a lot more willing to take risks. I think possibly the Fool showed up in this position in another group. See, so much repetition. But anyway, they may be a lot more able and willing to take risks, possibly because of your support. And it feels like you're really, really encouraging of this person. It kind of feels to me like you're the sun in this Fool card and you're the dog. And it's like you're not trying to stop this person. Like sometimes the dog or the other figure in the Fool card is trying to stop the Fool from careening off this edge. But it kind of feels like there's full support. It's like, you've got this, you can do this, you have calculated this risk, it's going to be okay. And it's like the sun can also see more than the fool. And so the sun is like, you're scared of these things, but I can see that you can do it. I can see that this edge is not a far drop. It's just, you have to take a step and then keep going. And so I think that you really help this person feel a lot more confident in themselves and in the things they want to do. And that you don't in any way seem to be dragging this person down or making them lack belief in themselves. And this is really wonderful to encourage someone this way. And it's like, it comes very naturally because you see all the potential in this person and what they can do. And not that like this person only has potential in the relationship. No, it seems like this is a very balanced relationship. But when it comes to things like their dreams, they have a lot of potential that you can see will be fulfilled. The Four of Wands can talk about marriage. So this can also be something that changes for them, that they may have been married before and that did not go well. And so this could be something where they're committing long-term to you, whether marriage or just a long-term commitment, whatever it is that you both want. And this is very healing for them because they may, if they were married before or if they were in a long-term relationship where they gave their all and it did not go well, this could have been very hurtful, very wounding for them. And it may have made them scared to get into a relationship or take someone seriously again. And so this is really healing that wound. If that did not happen for them, this may be the very first time that they actually want to commit to a long-term relationship where they actually do see this going the distance. Yeah, even if it's not about marriage, this really does feel like it is for the long haul, but again, there's so much balance here and there's stability. And so I think too that something has felt unstable in their past in relationships, either romantic or in their childhood relationships. And so something that's really healing for them is this feeling of like being able to truly trust and lean on another person and feel that person can trust and lean on them, and that you can grow something together that's really beautiful. It's not necessarily that they go through huge growth because of this relationship. Of course, everyone grows in relationships, or everyone has the chance to grow in relationships. I guess not everybody does, but more so than them, because it feels like they're kind of already fully formed. Like they're already pretty wonderful, it feels like. So what grows is actually just your relationship with one another, the things that you decide to pursue together. And that could be a home. The Four of Wands can also be about moving in together, having a home together, creating a beautiful home. This may be them finally feeling like they can take the leap to do that. Maybe you have lived with partners in the past and they never had, or something like that. But it does seem like they are more confident in themselves, more confident in this relationship, and they are very willing to grow things with you and to take big leaps with you. So what are they grateful for in this relationship, or what are they grateful for in you? And we have the Page of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So two cards that are like fresh love. So I think that, you know, it's very possible you could be a water sign or have water in your chart. That doesn't have to be the case. But if that is the case, they're very grateful for the qualities that those things in your chart bring forth. But it seems like regardless of that, you are very loving. You seem to be very open to starting a relationship with them. You have something wonderful to offer. Yeah, and it's this feeling of being like you come in very open and very willing to have to talk about your feelings, to talk about the things that you think and feel, to be open with how you feel about this person, and that it's not that, and you don't come on too strong. And so I think that's one thing that they really appreciate in the beginning, is that you're here, you're present, you're open. You seem to be willing to go deep, but you're not forcing it. You're not pushing it on them. You're just like, hey, I like you, I'm here. And so in the beginning, I think that's really nice because it allows them to move slowly into it if they need to, while also feeling like you're not hiding anything about yourself or about how you feel. You also may be very creative, or you have come up with creative solutions to things. But again, I get this energy that you're a very supportive person. You may be quite nurturing, and they really are grateful for that. It's also like, I think they're grateful for all these different aspects that you have, things that we have talked about, things that we haven't, but it really feels like a fresh start for them. This feels like something new, something fresh, and something different. It feels like you're different from, the feeling feels different from with you than anyone in the past. And it may be too that they never gave anyone a chance in the past. They also find you incredibly attractive. It feels like they feel like you're more attractive than anyone they've ever been with or anyone they've ever like spent time with. And so that's also like good going into the long haul, right? Because they definitely stay attracted to you. And I think that it's like, even as, if you have any fears around like aging and becoming less attractive, or having a partner be less attracted to you over time, because maybe that's happened to you before or something like that. And even if you don't have fears around that, it's like we go from the page to the knight, and then I'm seeing the queen and I'm seeing the king. And so it feels like no matter how you change your appearance, no matter when you have wrinkles on your face or your hair gets more gray, or even if you're older now and worried about someone being attracted to you, this person is very, very attracted to you, and they just continue to be. And they love every side of the way that you look and the way that you change, and even your personality as well. It's like, if in the first 5 years they know you're one way, and in the next 5 years you're another way, they love it. It's like almost like, oh, they get to be with a new person in a way, but still the same. So I don't know if I'm describing that well, but they're just grateful for you. They're grateful for the fact that they feel attracted to you. They're grateful for the fact that you are open and loving and kind and wonderful. And I think also, like, yes, they're very honest and they expect honesty and transparency, but I think there's something here about, like, they hide from other people a little bit, parts of your relationship. So I don't know if that's because you're both kind of private or something like that, but like, they make it known that you're their partner. They make it known that they adore you. But I think something feels so special about the relationship that it's like kind of hidden behind this curtain a little bit. Like, they're like, no, that's mine. That's special to me. And so, if this person is in the public eye, and we did get some of that, I think, in the second group, and it's a little bit possible here as well. If they are, it could also be that they don't want the public to know too much about their private life, but you're so special that they don't want to share every detail of it with everyone, because other people can like muddy the magic. And so finally, let's look at what you do that comforts or uplifts this person or makes them feel safe. And we have the Two of Pentacles and the Temperance. We start with balance, we end with balance. We have bookends of balance. So both of you, I think, care very much about equality and reciprocity and balance in general and in relationship. And that is so beautiful. So I think that they are very, very comforted, and they feel very, very safe because of the balance that you and harmony that you bring to their life. I wonder too, it's possible that they've had relationships where there was a lot of fighting or it felt chaotic, and it does not feel like you guys fight a lot. Like, you get along pretty well, you agree about things, or you have kind of easier discussions about how to resolve issues. But it feels overall like it's very harmonious between you. It's very easy, it feels like. And so this is really a comfort to them because, in the past, if they did deal with chaos or fighting a lot, this could have been very upsetting to their system. They may have had a lot of anxiety. That could be where some of the overthinking came from. And so they don't feel the need to do that with you. It calms them down, and like their nervous system is much calmer around you. Like, there's just trust and ease, and they know that everything's going to be okay. Yeah, they feel like you're like an earth angel. Like you're this wonderful angel who has come down to earth and blessed them by being in their life. And it's not that they're like, oh, group 3 is so above me, I'll never compare, but they're very in awe of you. And this angelic energy comes through as very loving and very caring. And, we have this bright sun again. And I just think that they see you as a bright, happy sun in their life. And we have the sunflowers as well. And that you always take their needs and wants into account, and that you're always vocal about yours too. You don't passive aggressively get mad because you took their needs into account and then never said anything about your own. It's like, well, I also have needs and here's what they are because this person wants to meet them. But I think that you're just incredibly uplifting because you're this bright ray of sunshine. You believe in them, you see them, and you have a healing presence. Like just being around you feels healing to their system. And it's not even that you're necessarily doing anything. It could be that you're like sitting in silence. But the fact that they could sit in silence with you and your energy heals them on some level. Because, yeah, maybe someone was really chaotic, or they felt really alone before. But now it's really, really comforting. So overall, it feels like this is a really healthy relationship. That's what it feels like. It feels balanced. It feels healthy. It feels like there's harmony, that there's mutual love and affection and joy and support. And so I think the biggest way that you impact this person is making them feel happier and safer and able to move toward the things that they want and to get more in touch with their intuition, to feel like they can finally commit to somebody. So I think that you both just give each other a lot of comfort and joy. So I think that's all I have for you today, Group 3. If you did enjoy this reading, please like the video or feel free to leave a comment if you are up for it. If you want to see more, subscribe. But I'll see you again soon, okay? Bye.